I recently went to India. To be honest, at first, I wasn't sure if I should post this video because we did a private tour, so a lot of the time we were just traveling in the car. That said, this trip was so different, so I thought I'll share the little footage that we took in this vibrant and lively country. We arrived in Delhi and was given a very warm welcome by our tour guide. On the way to the hotel, the traffic immediately caught our attention. It looked a little bit chaotic in the sense that 4 lanes somehow became 7. That said, there's clearly a system that the locals understand really well. We, on the other hand, had a hard time just trying to cross the road. Honestly, if our tour guide wasn't with us, we would probably still be standing there right now. On this trip, we saw snake charmers in real life for the very first time, and we got really excited. Our tour guide took us to explore the old Delhi market, where we got to try out the rickshaw ride. Guys, this one is a must-try if you ever come to India. The ride was really bumpy, and there was so much going on and so much to see. This was such a fun way to experience India, and I absolutely recommend it. My little boy had the best time, and for me, this is definitely something I would never ever forget. We spent a little bit of time in the spice market. This place was so busy and full of energy. We only bought some tea leaves, but you can actually do quite a bit of shopping here. But just be prepared to do some bargaining. In another market, I bought a pair of sandals from a shop for about $8 because I needed something to wear in the hotel. I'm not sure if I overpaid, but I guess that's part of being a tourist, right? I went for a black color because I think they are a lot easier to style and they turn out to be really comfortable to wear. Another highlight is that we got into a tuk-tuk, which is another version of rickshaw. This was such a fun experience for us. I was a little bit scared at first, but I'm so glad we got to try it. In fact, I can totally understand why these kind of small vehicles are everywhere in India because they are very handy and much more affordable as well for getting from point A to point B in crowded cities. On this trip, we went to 4 cities. In Jaipur, we went to Amber Fort. Here, I met a subscriber. She and her husband were so friendly, and we chatted for a little bit. This was actually the very first time that someone recognized me because of YouTube, so I was a little bit awkward. In fact, I even forgot to ask their names, and I feel so bad about it. If you're the lady and you're watching this video, I just want to say thank you so much for saying hi and for watching my videos.
I will show you. This is called your Papa TV.
According to our tour guide, Jaipur is famous for its emerald, so we decided to drop by a local jewelry store to have a look. At the entrance, we were given an introduction about the different stones and how they are polished. Apparently, some really famous people have made their jewelry purchases from here.
These are all quartz I can explain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I tried on several emerald pieces and got to admire the beautiful local craftsmanship. I was a little bit tempted to get a very dainty emerald ring, but in the end, I decided that I didn't like it enough to bring it home.
This is, you bought it. If you like this nice mat with that.
What's that?
पन्ने की दस्ती बेटा छोटी कोई ऊंची है तुम्हारी नजर में.
After a very busy morning, we went to lunch. On this trip, we were welcomed with bindi between our eyebrows on several occasions, which made this trip feel even more special. As many of you might know, I really enjoy art, and India is well known for its miniature painting, so our tour guide took us to a painting school. Here, the artist painted each of our names on a tiny grain of rice.
You can do one thing, it's like very simple.
Many of the artists spend years perfecting their crafts, and the paintings are really delicate. Often you need a magnifying glass to see the details properly. Each of these paintings takes months and months to complete, so understandably they are quite expensive. I didn't buy anything, but I really appreciate the opportunity to see this unique art and so many amazing pieces.
Then we get slices.
By the way, I absolutely love this linen blouse. The long sleeves gave me some sun protection, but the material is actually really light and breathable, making it perfect for the incredibly hot weather.
See you later.
After a long day, my husband and my little boy went for a swim, and I went for a nice long massage. It felt so pampering and soothing. Today's outfit is the same linen blouse in a different color, which I love. I'm also really glad that I brought this backpack for this trip. This is such a lovely size. It can carry everything I need, plus the colors go with all my outfits. All that being said, my favorite feature about this backpack is probably this back pocket, because this is where I usually keep my phone. After breakfast, we drove for about 5 hours to Agra. On arrival, we went straight to the Fatehpur Sikri. Our tour guide explained everything very thoroughly, but to be honest, we couldn't appreciate the beauty of this place as much as we would like because of the very high temperature. It was about 38 degrees Celsius that day, and I'm not exaggerating when I say we felt like we were melting. We then went for a lovely lunch and then made our way to Agra Fort. Here we had our very first sighting of the Taj Mahal, and we got so excited.
You got mommy some money? Yeah. Let's get some coffee then, yeah?
After a long day, we finally arrived in the hotel, and I went straight to the cafe for a very refreshing iced cold coffee.
Just whatever money you will get it, you just use that money for.
The next day, we went to the magnificent Taj Mahal. We were told by our tour guide to bring as little as possible because of the strict security, so I decided to wear my Atelier's August shoulder bag. We felt so blessed to finally see this incredible world wonder. By the way, on this trip, several local people asked to have a photo with me. I'm not quite sure why, but they were all really friendly, so I just said yes. Most of the time, we traveled in the car, but on the way to a city called Ranthambore, we took the train. We were a little bit nervous at first, but the train was actually really lovely and clean. At this point, I was quite tired from the heat, but instead of taking a nap, I just kept looking out the window because I didn't want to miss any moments in this country. Now, India is still fairly limited in terms of certain facilities, so I think if you are interested to visit, you should really consider joining a tour. Our tour guide took such good care of us, and we didn't really have to worry about anything.
Whatever you like, you can do
Yeah,
that.
okay.
At 1 o'clock, you just come down to have your lunch.
Yeah, but open obviously.
On safari.
Yep.
Around 9:30.
On arriving in Ranthambore, we were picked up by our driver, and then we made our way to the hotel. A lot of people come to this city for the famous tiger safari, so did we. I love the atmosphere in this resort. It felt so calming and serene. Our room was breathtakingly beautiful and so spacious, although we didn't actually get to spend much time in here.
Keep the bowl over.
Every day in the late afternoon, you can enjoy a traditional dance performance here. This little boy here was such an amazing dancer and a superstar in his own right. He even came to invite us to dance with him, so of course I wasn't going to say no, so I hope you'll excuse me for my very awkward dance moves.
Hey!
Here we also had an opportunity to try out pottery, and as you can see, my little boy had a lot of fun making his very first bowl. It actually looked really therapeutic, and I kind of wish I had given it a try as well. We then went for dinner. The restaurant was surprisingly quiet for some reason, but we had a lovely meal, and we even had a good chat with the waitress. In the night, we went for a lovely walk and took some pictures under this beautiful mango tree. Overall, it was a wonderful day. The next day before sunrise, our driver picked us up for our safari adventure. To be honest, I'm not a huge safari person, but my husband was really looking forward to seeing tigers and leopards in their own habitat. And thankfully, we actually spotted them. In fact, the tiger was chilling in the river for a long time while everyone was going crazy taking photos. To be honest, I was actually more excited to see the beautiful peacocks. The ride, by the way, was incredibly bumpy, so if you have motion sickness, this might not be for you. This trip was certainly a trip of massages. In the afternoon, I went for another long massage, and it was so good and relaxing. After the massage, I went back to the room to relax for a little bit. And soon, we headed out again for another round of safari. Soon, it's time to leave Ranthambore. The train to Delhi was a much more dated version compared to the one we took just 2 days ago. In the last few years, effort has been made to extend the train line, but so far there isn't a new train from Ranthambore to Delhi. I'm not going to lie, the contrast was quite visible, but I actually don't mind riding on this train because it's all part of the experience. The journey took about 5 hours, and our tour guide told us that the snacks on the train might not agree with us, so he said try not to buy anything. Well, luckily the hotel packed us a very nice breakfast, so we didn't have to buy anything anyway. Like I said, the tour guide really did take care of absolutely everything. And just like on the way here, I spent the entire train journey observing everything and looking out the window. We spent the last 2 days in the Meridian Hotel in Delhi. On this trip, we stayed in 4 different hotels, but this one is definitely our favorite. We went to drop off our things and then headed to the top floor to have a very lovely Chinese meal. This was probably the nicest restaurant we visited on this entire trip. The food was very authentic and the view was quite incredible. I then took myself to a nice long massage. On this trip, I had like 5 massages, but this one was probably the best one. There was a small resting room where you can have a steam shower.
How is massage, ma'am?
It was really good. I nearly fell asleep. I took some time here to enjoy the herbal tea they gave me.
Yes, please, thank you.
Dinner was a buffet. We didn't actually feel that hungry because we had a late lunch, but we spent quite some time here enjoying some family time and talking about the interesting things about this trip. The food selection, by the way, was incredible and everything was so yummy.
I'll try it once for the boy.
So there is so many of them, they like it. And same design, same concept.
The next day, we went to the Jama Masjid mosque. Here, you'll be asked to remove your shoes, so make sure you come with a pair of socks. I showed this clip before, and a few people asked me where I got this long cardigan. This was actually a robe that was given to every visitor to cover up. I actually really liked it myself, but of course I had to return it when I left. Personally, I love going to these kind of historical buildings because I really enjoy learning about the history and the stories behind them, and then I'll try to imagine what life used to be like in the past. I got these linen trousers from Uniqlo and I really recommend them. I love how comfy they are and how casual they look. In fact, they saved me so much trouble in India as well because I didn't have to keep topping up the sunscreen on my legs. These are absolutely summer essentials, which is why I have them in 2 different colors. This kind of casual outfit is easily my favorite look for this trip because it's so simple and, in my opinion, quite stylish and chic as well. And of course, we had to visit the Raj Ghat, which is the memorial complex for Mahatma Gandhi, one of the most respected figures in India. The black marble here marks the cremation spot for Gandhi. The flame burns all day, every day, as a constant reminder of Gandhi's life, his enduring legacy and ideas. Our last sightseeing spot for the day was the Humayun tomb, which was built in the 1560s.
It was owned by our owner. He's no more. He died. So this is 40 years old.
Wow.
50 years old.
Oh, okay.
It was his personal piano.
Yeah, wow, very nice.
Back in the hotel, the manager was really kind to let my little boy play on the grand piano. This was something he had been wanting to do for a long time. Now, he's by no means a piano prodigy, but the staffs were really friendly and kind to him. In fact, they even sent him a very delicious chocolate cake to thank him for playing. Because of this special experience, my little boy now loves playing on the piano even more. I absolutely recommend this hotel. They made us feel so at home while we were there. In the very early morning next day, we left for the airport and flew back to the UK. This trip was so unique in so many ways. This is actually the very first time we did a private tour, but I think it was the best choice for us. I am so glad that we had the opportunity to try out so many new experiences and create those unforgettable memories. All three of us really enjoyed our adventure in India, and we all said we would definitely love to go back one day. A special thanks to our incredible tour guide KD and our wonderful driver Mupinder. I only just came home not too long ago, and now I cannot wait to travel again. Where would you suggest? Please let me know down below. Thank you so much for being here. Take care, and I will see you soon.